sentence should he receive, Latoya?
Death penalty. That's what he should be on the farm range.
They murdered my brother, and they know who they are. It's not just Dr. Murray, I promise you that. It's more people involved, and they know exactly who they are, and I'm going to let you guys know exactly what's happening and what's going on.
What do you think about Dr. Murray?
No, that's not your car.
What's your opinion of Dr. Murray? Is he the main culprit?
It's more than just Dr. Murray that's involved in this.
Will justice be served?
What's up, guys? It's Mohammed with Dating and Money. I'm the hottest paparazzi in LA, and we're going to be talking about the censorship of Michael Jackson. Before we start this documentary, I just want you guys to know that Dating and Money is actually going to take TMZ down, okay? TMZ is going down. I'm going to be the hottest paparazzi in LA, okay? You know what I'm saying? TMZ is done for. So why did Michael Jackson get censored in the 90s? He got censored in the 90s because he created a song that's called They Don't Care About Us. In this song, he had lyrics that said, "Jew me, sue me." Michael Jackson was criticizing the Jewish community, just like Nick Cannon, who got censored. Nick, can you talk about being censored? Remember you were asking the JQ question. Remember the Jewish question? You got censored.
Oh, that's not censored.
Let's talk about something. Just like Kanye West, who got censored for doing the same exact thing. And a lot of people don't know this, but Michael Jackson got censored as well.
Michael Jackson has been forced to apologize to the Jewish community for some lyrics in one of his new songs. They Don't Care About Us, one of 15 new songs on the History album, includes the line "Jew me, sue me," followed by a similar use of the anti-Semitic word "kike."
The king of pop caught in controversy again. He said he'd lose the lyrics that outraged critics. Now he's singing them again for his new video. Jackson promised several months ago to revise the lyrics to his song "They Don't Care About Us," lyrics many called anti-Semitic. Jackson's in Brazil now, shooting the video for the song, and Entertainment Tonight has learned he is still using the controversial lyrics.
Last year, he angered Jewish groups when he sang these words. Michael then gave in to pressure and changed the song. But in Brazil, the controversial lyrics were back. We showed footage of the video shoot to Rabbi Marvin Heyer, an activist for Jewish causes, who was outraged because last June, Jackson sent him a letter of apology for singing those lyrics.
I'm shocked. Jew me, sue me, kick me, kike me. Those are the words that he told us that he would never use again.
So why did Michael Jackson criticize the Jewish community? There's a lot of reasons. One of the reasons was because Michael Jackson felt like Jewish people were taking advantage of African Americans in the music industry.
It's been, the record companies really do conspire against their artists. They steal, they cheat, they do whatever they can, especially the black artists. Tommy Mottola is the president of the record division. He is a mean, he's a racist, and he's very devilish.
So Michael Jackson, a lot of you guys don't know this, but he actually kept a list of people he didn't like. On this list was Rabbi Shmuley, illusionist Uri Geller, music executive Tommy Mottola, Gloria Allred, and Janet Arvizo. Okay. A lot of these people were Jewish, okay? I won't say all of them were Jewish, but literally around 95% of them were Jewish, okay? 90%. This might have also something else to do with why he criticized the Jewish community. He was just getting stabbed in the back by Jewish people left and right. Seems like all of them were after his finances.
And yes, Jackson did say that the Jews are, probably referring to the Jews in the music industry, are like leeches and that they took everything from them and that they did it on purpose. But when you look into those allegations or those insults, you realize that because of his will that was probably fake and filed right before his death. So the will was signed on July 7th in Los Angeles by 3 witnesses. But Jackson's family pointed out that he was in New York that day, and there's video proving it. So they changed their story, but the witnesses definitely saw it, and it was just in New York. So anyways, because of this will, John Branca was put in charge of his estate, which included his net worth of $230 million, but far more importantly, his 50% share of Sony ATV worth $750 million. Yes, he was taking on Sony. He was going after the hand that feeds him. And when you look into John Branca, in 2003, Jackson fired Branca because he was siphoning money out of Jackson's accounts in collusion with Sony Music CEO Tommy Mottola and funneling it through a bunch of offshore accounts in the Caribbean.
Another big reason as to why Michael Jackson was criticizing the Jewish community was because the way they portrayed him in the media. He was on the front cover of a magazine. They called him Wacko Jacko. They were just trying to tarnish his image. They were trying to say he's a pedophile.
Remember that one boy? Now listen to this. I have to tell you this. Okay. So after I left the party, and the next day I smoked weed with Michael, and then I get in the limousine and I leave. I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal over here. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me in the hotel room. And my mom's there and she's like, tell them what happened. And I'm like, what do you mean tell them what happened? And I sit down with them and they all get asked these super sexually exploited, questions, back-sided questions. And I knew that at my age already. And I looked at all 4 of them and I said, are y'all crazy? I said, what you think I'm gonna do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money? That's what I told him. I was like, you're crazy. And I looked over at my mom and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? And she goes, well, I think something happened, I think something. I'm like, really? That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving, everything you could think of. We rode 4-wheelers for 5 hours, me, him, and Chris Tucker in the mountains.
Look into the evidence. The FBI were investigating Jackson for 10 full years, and they presented no evidence of criminal conduct on Jackson's part. The files have been declassified and you can view them yourself. They include a raid of his home where they confiscated all electronics. This is their ID number that you'll see. We're talking computers, hard drives, cell phones, where they say the amount of gigabytes. And then following are pages like this where they have the ID of the different devices and they all say nothing. Literally, they all say this. They found nothing. But that didn't stop the press from running made-up stories about how secret FBI files revealed that Jackson had paid millions in hush money to dozens of boys he had abused, despite the FBI files directly negating that statement.
Michael Jackson's sister was literally pretty much held hostage. I didn't know this until recently, that his sister was literally held hostage. She was literally forced to be in a relationship, say her own brother is a pedophile on national television. It's insane.
Evidence do you have that your brother did in fact sexually abuse these young boys?
I want you to know that there aren't really any evidence. The only thing that I know of, and my mother has actually shown me these things, she's the one that was outraged and brought them to me, that were checks that were written to the little boy's parents. And there are 2 checks that I know of that she has shown me, and it's for a substantial amount of money. And she was outraged over it.
Just assuming then that it's hush money, did your mother ever tell you that this money was being given to the alleged the parents of the alleged victims to keep them quiet?
That's why I can't say that it's hush money. Apparently, it was given for some reason. I don't know why. But let me ask you a question. What 35-year-old man do you know that sleeps with little boys and stays with them for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, and sleep in the same bed?
You are now saying, testifying in a way, that you saw your brother with 8- and 9-year-olds in his bedroom, staying over night after night after night. You saw that?
Yes. And all of a sudden, when you knock on Michael's bedroom door and you walk in the room, the child is entirely different. He's not the same little child.
Not the same innocent?
No, he's not the same little child anymore.
Was the glazed look a predatory look? Was it a look of, I am attracted to that one, I want that one?
I hate to sit here and say yes, but that's the impression I got.
Why then are you so convinced in your heart that he's guilty?
Because of what I've seen.
Michael Jackson knew when she was on television that was not his sister saying that. He knew this. He told LaToya this, okay?
You spoke out not on Michael's behalf. You actually suggested in some interviews that you thought maybe he was guilty.
Yes, I went for the longest time not wanting to say anything, not wanting to speak. And
It's kind of incredible for us as a public to see you on television saying, yeah, I think Michael might be guilty. I've always, you know, my mother has always been suspicious and something should have been done about it, which you did say.
I'm listening.
Yeah, and to say that, and now to see you saying, well, no, I don't. It's kind of, we think this is like two people.
Exactly, but it isn't. He promised me if I didn't say certain things, he would kill my brother and my sister. So what do you do in a case like that? Do you say, I don't care, go kill them? I'm not saying it. Do you say that, or you say, well, let me just do this now and I'll explain it to them later? What do you do?
Gordon gave me this piece of paper and he says, read this. Since he goes, you better say this, you say this.
Jack Gordon forced you to say that your brother was a pedophile. Did you think he was?
No, I did not. The courts have proven that too as well.
Just to make things very clear, you recanted your accusation. Are you sure today that your brother never had any undue relationship with a child?
Barbara, Michael is not. He is not.
He is not a pedophile.
No, he's not.
So I interviewed a couple celebrities about this. One guy in particular named Paul Williams, he's a composer, and I interviewed him about it, and he got really, really nervous, and he pretty much, like, he slapped my hand, you know, the camera out of my hand, and, you know, he didn't want to talk about it because, you know, he didn't want to get demonetized. You know what I'm saying?
Paul Williams, what's your opinion about Michael Jackson getting censored in the 90s?
Say it again.
Michael Jackson getting censored in the 90s?
Well, I think censoring art is ridiculous and almost unless it's really painful to somebody else's life.
Yeah, he got censored. You knew that They Don't Care About Us? That song was censored. Did you know about that?
You know what? I just had a nice dinner, and you know, it's. But I mean,
you know that though. You know that it was censored, right?
You know, you know, censorship. Well, where it really dives in is when you get into the world of rap and all. But you know what?
What?
I don't want to be on. You know, okay. Yeah, let's not do that. Okay. Let's not do it. I don't want to wind up on. Well, speaking of which, where's your car, honey?
There were some celebrities that I interviewed about this. They didn't seem to genuinely know, but then there were some, I feel like you could kind of see that they did know. They just didn't want to talk about it because, you know, you're really not allowed to criticize Jewish people. Let's keep it real, like, you know, without any backlash.
Sir, what's your opinion about Michael Jackson being censored?
I didn't know he was.
He got his song, They Don't Really Care About Us. They censored him in that song. Sir, can I ask you, what's your opinion about Michael Jackson being censored?
Being what?
Censored?
I know nothing about it.
They don't really care about us.
I know nothing
that
about
song
that.
was censored. They censored the lyrics in that song.
I'm really sorry about about Quincy passing.
Yeah, Quincy just passed. Rest in peace. He's a legend music producer.
You're from Jurassic Park. I was curious, how's your acting career nowadays?
It's okay. How's yours?
Good.
Congratulations.
I'm competing with TMZ. I'm going to be the new TMZ.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. What's your opinion on what happened with Michael Jackson? He got censored in the 90s. Any thoughts on that? No. What about politics? What do you think about Palestine? Any thoughts on Palestine? What's going on in Palestine, or Trump or Kamala? No. Thank you. What do you think about Michael Jackson getting censored in the 90s? Who? They Don't Care About Us. Michael Jackson, he got censored in the 90s. You know that song, They Don't Care About Us? They censored that song.
Really? How come?
He said a word you're not supposed to say, I guess.
Okay, let's start out the camera, ready?
You guys don't know about that?
You guys can see I was kind of hesitant to even utter the word Jew and even talk about it because I'm traumatized. I mean, I'm literally banned from Rodeo Drive, and I genuinely think it's because I was talking about Israel on Rodeo Drive. I have so much evidence behind it, so many witnesses. I can't get banned from Hollywood. I can't get banned from West Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make a living. I gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? But I also gotta do my job as a paparazzi and ask real questions that TMZ doesn't ask. Michael Jackson, his music, he was so anti-war. He was anti-war. You could see in some of his songs, he would talk about, Jerusalem, the Holy Land. He would talk about the Holy Land. And they don't want Americans to talk about that. They're trying to create this country, Israel. They don't want Americans to talk about that. They're trying to create the greater Israel map. They don't want Americans to talk about Israel. And Michael Jackson was doing that, okay? And now we got P. Diddy's security guard right next to Michael Jackson before he dies. Now P. Diddy's getting investigated with all this stuff. Something's going on, okay? It's very questionable whether Michael Jackson actually got killed. That's actually a possibility that he could have got killed, honestly.
Michael Jackson conspiracy theories are back on the table. P. Diddy's sexual blackmail ring puts Michael Jackson's whole life story in a whole new light. So this new lawsuit just came out that shows tons of evidence that P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, has been running a sexual blackmail operation very much like Jeffrey Epstein, but in the rap and music industry for basically 30 years. And in that lawsuit, we learned that his head of security while he's running the sexual blackmail ring is this guy named Fahim Muhammad, who before working for Diddy was the head of security for Michael Jackson when he was only 21. And he was one of the first people on the scene when Michael Jackson died. And before we go to Michael Jackson, the most important part of the Diddy case to bring across is the fact that the record executives at the very top knew what P. Diddy was doing.
I have this theory that, this whole music, this whole rap music stuff is going on in the African American community because in the 70s, African Americans were converting to Islam at a fast rate. A lot of African Americans were converting to Islam. So I feel like they wanted a way to destabilize the African American community because also they were also anti-Zionist, okay? A lot of African Americans, they became Muslim and they started to become anti-Zionist. So they had to destabilize them. Okay, I think it was like a threat or something to their whole greater Israel project. They're, creating Israel. It was a threat. Like they created this whole music, Crip and Blood, music stuff, this degeneracy to destabilize the African American community. That's my theory, and I strongly, it makes a lot of sense, Also with the death of Malcolm X. That's what I think. That's my opinion. Why is the censorship of Michael Jackson so important? I think it's so important because what I see in Michael Jackson is an attempt to change the music industry. And I see that same attempt with Kanye West and Nick Cannon. These three individual African American black men were trying to make a change and do the right thing, and they were pretty much demonized for it, for trying to do the right thing. Can you believe that? That's the society we live in. You try to do the right thing and you get demonized? It's insane. It's disgusting. Like, people talk shit about black people all day, and these three individuals were trying to make a change. Kanye West started making Christian music right after he got demonized. He knows music has a big impact on the African American community. But what happened? He stopped. There was no traction because the industry only pushes demonic music to the African American community to destabilize them. I strongly believe this.
God show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down.
I'm tired of acting like Hollywood is not a weapon of mass destruction. I'm tired of acting like the media doesn't have anything to do with 75 to 80 to 90 to 100% of our problems in the US. I'm tired of it. You know, you don't ever hear any of these politicians talking about the media being the issue. The media is the issue. We have a degenerate culture. Our culture is degeneracy. We're gonna have homeless people everywhere with this degeneracy everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have the crime rate skyrocketing with this degeneracy everywhere. That's all I gotta say, man. Man, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, share it, repost it. I put in a lot of work, man. I put in a lot of work. Show some love. Also, donate to my Palestinian film. I'm trying to make the first Palestinian film that will be in theaters all over the United States. If you guys could donate to that would mean a lot. I'm trying to get to 50K, man, so we could get this off the ground, get the show on the road. Let's make it happen, man. Let's make a change in America. All I care about is free speech, man. I love everyone. I love the Jews. I love all people, bro. I love everyone in this world. I just want to see my country, America, be a happier place. I want free thought to be alive. And yeah, that's it, man. And everything can be done through communication. And I'm calling for a retrial for the death of Michael Jackson. There's just so many red flags in this case, okay? Dr. Murray tried to do CPR on a bed, which is unheard of in the medical community, okay? It's literally one of the most basic things that you're not supposed to do. He didn't call 911 when Michael Jackson was dying. His medical records are flawed. He doesn't keep proper documentation. He was struggling financially when Michael Jackson died, administering anesthesia outside of a hospital. He had no monitor equipment. He was using multiple sedatives, and he also attempted to conceal evidence. His statements are inconsistent. And if you look at Dr. Murray's face, he looks like someone who is very guilty, very, very guilty. All I want is justice for the Jackson family, man. They've been through a lot. I want justice for Michael Jackson.